Let me tell you something. So the halo cut is something I read about for the first time maybe around 5 years ago. And based off of the description, I had no idea what was actually going on. I was just stupid. But like I said, 5 years has passed since then. I am older. I am wiser. Do not mess with me.
I am older. I am wiser. Do not mess with me.
If you can't tell, I'm a fan of The Office. The halo cut was created by Harry Lorraine, and I believe it was first revealed in his book called Rimshots, which was published back in 1973. The first time I read about the halo cut was in Harry Lorraine's personal collection, which was published back in 2001. And I remember reading it for the first time, completely unaware of how anything even works. But then earlier this year, I was going through that book again and I realized this is actually pretty simple. At a very high level, it's pretty much the gliding of a bottom card from one packet to another in the cover of a swing cut. That's it. Once I realized that, I started working on my own handling for the move. I would say like 95% of the technique is still the same. It was just the naturalness that I had with a deck of cards was slightly different than how he was handling it. So I'd made those adjustments and I think now I'm ready to share it with you. So here we go. One of my favorite moves to do, the halo cut. All right, the halo cut. Wait, hold on. Did I do an intro for this video? I don't think so. What up, crew? Hope you're doing well, and as I mentioned, today we're going to be covering the halo cut. So let's go ahead and break it down. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the halo cut is pretty much a glide of the bottom card from one packet to another. So essentially all we're really doing is, as we're giving the packet a cut, we're gliding the bottom packet from the bottom of the deck to the new bottom of the deck and giving the deck a cut, maintaining that bottom card. And the entire thing is happening under the cover of a swing cut. So while the swing cut's happening, we are gliding this bottom card and doing something like that. So very high level, that's it. That's pretty much what it is. You can probably leave the video now. I'm just kidding. Don't leave me. But I want to talk more about the technique and naturalness of this move. So of course, you all should probably know what a swing cut is. A swing cut is pretty much when you're holding the deck in a biddle grip like this, thumb on the bottom, ring finger, middle finger, your index finger is used to lift up a part of the deck. Let's just say half the deck. Swing it over, right? Back, out, swing it over into the other hand. And there's the swing cut. That's it. You can do this as many times as you'd like, as long as, you know, your finger can grab cards. That's a swing cut. So I really want you to focus on how your swing cut looks and how it comes across naturally, because you want that exact same motion with the halo cut, right? So the exact same way you're doing this should be the exact same way you're doing that. And of course, the second time I was doing a halo cut. Now, of course, I'm sure there will be so small flashes here and there. For example, when I was just doing it there, you saw that small flash right here. So you want to really focus on aligning everything together as you're doing that. But again, number one thing to focus on is how you do the swing cut. And then from here, once you know exactly the method you use, we're going to be applying it directly back to the halo cut. And in our practice session, we're going to be going back and forth. So we can do a swing cut, we're going to do a halo cut, swing cut, halo cut, and going back and forth, just so we can get that consistency across both cuts. Here's the technique behind the halo cut. It's not exactly how Harry Lorraine has taught it, but I kind of adapted my own method for it. So of course, you're starting off in a biddle grip, the same exact way you do a swing cut. And of course, if your swing cut is, you know, very different than my swing cut, see how you can adapt this method to your own, or the halo cut to your own swing cut method. So holding the deck in a biddle grip, break off about half the deck, and I'm moving this over. Now for me, as I'm moving this over, I have it here in my hand. So I have it already resting in my hand. I don't have it here and then I'm doing a swing cut. I already have it here and then I'm doing a swing cut. So for me, since that is a bit more natural, it becomes easier to kind of steal this card from the bottom here. So again, we're here, lift up, swing over. Now as you swing over, it's almost natural to pull out the bottom half. So let me show you here. So here, back, and now as you can see, the fingers are kind of separating. My middle finger and index finger are going away from each other, and as they're going away, I'm using this part of my hand to kind of grab this bottom card. So on the bottom we have the 5 of spades. All I'm really doing, breaking here, shifting, right? So as this shifts, you can kind of see where the bottom packet was shifted versus where it began. Let me get there one more time. So here, and we're breaking that apart. And you want to align this top packet with that bottom card as best as you can. It's completely okay if it's not 100% in the beginning, but that's what you want to aim towards. And of course, I start sliding cards around. Okay, so here you're in this position. Now what do? Well, as you just saw, I started sliding cards around. So you want to establish a good grip with this top packet, and especially if you're using a newer deck, you want to establish a nice tight grip within this part of your thumb here. It doesn't have to be here, just this part of your thumb, because that part of your thumb is really what grabs this packet. So in doing the swing cut, when I'm doing this part of my thumb is grabbing. I'm not using this part to grab, otherwise, you know, like, what is that? I'm using the bottom part of my thumb to grab the deck. And that's exactly what I want to be doing when I'm doing the halo cut. So I separate, pull out here, right? Grabbing like this, and I'm taking this out. Now, as you can see, if the grip is not proper, these cards will separate like this. So you really want to make sure it's a tight grip, right? This grip here has to be pretty tight. And now when you pull this out, you can see the cards won't separate. And then you can go ahead, you can go ahead and complete your cut, maintaining that beautiful card on the bottom. And as I mentioned, as you're doing your practice sessions, you want to do one normal swing cut, one halo cut. One normal swing cut, one halo cut, right? And of course, it's not going to be as smooth in the beginning, and trust me, it took me the longest time. You want to have some sort of moisture on your hands, because if your hands are completely dry, I can't even do the halo cut if my hands are dry. So you want to have some kind of moisture so that this bottom card kind of sticks to your hand. If your hands are completely dry, like, you want to be able to do that. If you push down on, push the deck down on your hand and slide it out, one card should be sliding on the base of your palm, or base of your finger, hand. So the halo cut actually has quite a lot of uses. Personally, what I use it for is if I'm playing a game of cards and I want to set up for doing a bottom deal, let's say, I don't know, for example, I have set up the deck with the ace of spades on the bottom, right? And I do some false shuffles, maintaining that ace of spades on the bottom, and something like that. And here we have it. Now I just want to show people that I'm giving the deck an actual cut. I can do a halo cut. Again, make sure you're following the proper techniques, all the naturalness. And then I literally just exaggerate. There we go. I gave the deck a cut. And if you want to, you could even show the top card, like, okay, 8 of spades. Watch, I'm going to give the deck a cut. The card has changed, so there's a proper cut. And of course, you're maintaining that card on the bottom. So first time I saw halo cut, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. And the more I do it, the more magical it just even feels in my hands. So that's something you do with a halo cut. Then when you're doing, you're dealing, you can kind of grab that bottom card and deal from the bottom to yourself, because, I mean, obviously you shouldn't cheat. Cheating is wrong. Harry Lorraine also came up with a really cool 4-ace production that uses the halo cut, and it absolutely blew my mind the first time I saw it. I highly encourage you to go ahead and check it out, because it is phenomenal. So the link to that video should be on the screen now, and I'm telling you, you will not regret learning that trick. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. It's a pleasure as always having you on the channel, and I hope you enjoyed my inputs on halo cut.